Welcome. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family. And we are so delighted that you've welcomed us into your home. We certainly would love to hear from you. So send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com. And remember that you can always listen to our show at EWTN's Podcast Central. Just go out to ewtn.com/radio/podcast or wherever you happen to listen to your podcasts. Now today, we are welcoming Kimberly Henkel to our show. Kimberly is the founder and executive director of Springs of Love. It's a beautiful apostolate that inspires Catholics to discern and live out the call to foster and adopt. Now, Kimberly is a Catholic convert and holds a PhD in moral theology from the Catholic University of America and an MTS from the John Paul II Institute. She is also the executive director of the Springs of Love Foster and Adoption video series that was featured on EWTN On Demand, which you can go and watch. She is featured on EWTN Catholic Answers Live and C-SPAN, and her writings appeared in the Lynn Acre Quarterly, the National Catholic Register, and Focus on the Family. So Kimberly co-founded Springs in the Desert, a ministry for those experiencing infertility. And she and her husband, Greg, were drawn to foster care through their own infertility journey and are now adoptive parents to 4 beautiful children in Ohio. And so she's here to speak with us today about all the great things Springs of Love is doing to equip Catholics to foster and adopt, and how Catholics can help participate in one of the Church's greatest traditions of taking care of children. You could go out to our website, springsoflove.org, and perhaps you know a couple that are experiencing the cross of infertility, and they have many questions about adoption. Well, Kimberly has done a lot of work. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. Go out to her great website, and a lot of your questions will be answered.
It's an amazing work, and it's at the very heart of the Church from its beginning to care for the vulnerable and for the weak. How we need that to be rekindled. Springs of Love is doing that very thing, springsoflove.org. We're speaking on Monday about building strong families, what we need to be doing, the power of screens in children's lives, and how we need to give our lives away, how we need to serve the vulnerable. Whether we're considering, maybe some of you today, saying, we're thinking about foster care, we're thinking about adoption. Maybe somebody's out there today that's saying, you know, my pregnancy, I don't know if I could rear a child at this point. You're considering placing a child. What a tremendous act of love. So that will be touched on. Maybe you're someone who has placed a child for adoption. Maybe you haven't gotten much care. Springs of Love deals with that whole area. Maybe you're in a parish and you're saying, well, I'm doing foster care adoption. I don't feel very supportive. They're starting chapters with education, videos, equipping you to help support people that are doing this. Springsoflove.org. Kimberly's going to be with us in just a few moments. It's very special at home with Jim and Joy, building a new culture of life, marriage, the family, belonging. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, our guest today is Kimberly Henkel. She is the founder and executive director of Springs of Love. Go out to the beautiful website, springsoflove.org. Well, Kimberly, we are excited to have you back on our show, and we want you first to tell our family what made you start this beautiful apostolate, Springs of Love.
Yes, well, I definitely didn't expect that I would be starting a national ministry working with trying to promote foster care. My husband and I, we met in grad school at the JP2 Institute for Studies on Marriage and Family. And we were a little bit older when we got married, but we still thought we're going to have a big, beautiful family. And then we just weren't able to get pregnant. It was just devastating to us. And you know, in the midst of that, you know, kind of dealing with that grief, you know, I always sort of had this desire to adopt. And so I began to talk to him about it. And at first he's like, well, I don't know, which is kind of typical because it's usually the woman who feels more, feels the call first, usually. And so it took him a little bit of time, but then he kind of opened up to it and he's like, well, let's look into it. But then again, it was just like private, public, you know, like all of the different questions, international, domestic, that felt very overwhelming. And as we started down the path of adoption, all the doors were closing with agencies. And that was really hard. We had several kind of failed adoptions, you know, where we thought we were going to get to adopt and then it didn't work out. And so I just was like, the Lord is with us. Like he has a plan for our marriage. And, you know, maybe we're looking in the wrong direction. And, you know, I knew somebody who had fostered and I started, you know, asking questions. And so we signed up to take classes and our eyes were just open to the reality of the vast number of children in foster care who needed families right now. And so we were like, how can we not get involved?
So in the foster care realm, were you doing foster care for the child to go back to the mother, or was it foster to adopt?
So in different states have different categorizations. So in the state of Ohio, you can be on the foster to adopt track. So we did sign up for that. However, the goal of foster care is to reunify the child with their birth family. And so we knew that that was the goal and that we were to support that goal. At first it was hard because here we didn't have any children and we're like, how can we get behind this goal of reunification when a child has been removed because it is not safe for him to be with that parent? But as we got involved, we began to see the real need for Catholics to support these birth families to the best of our ability, to develop, if it's safe, you know, to develop some sort of a relationship, to let them know, you know what, I'm here for you. Like I'm here to help care for your child so you can get well. And so that was a totally different experience we didn't expect as well. Being able to kind of walk with birth families and to let them know first and foremost, I'm praying for you and I'm rooting for you because God loves you and we love the same child. You know, we're here to help see your family healed and whole again. And so just kind of helping the birth families. But in many situations, it isn't safe for a child to go back. And in that case, those who are, you know, wanting to adopt, then, you know, the child becomes eligible to be adopted. And so we need families to step up who are willing to adopt as well.
Well, you're sharing so many possibilities and themes, and that's why it's so important, the work that you're doing. Tell us more about how you're equipping Catholics to consider foster care, adoption, or not for them, it's for other people to support people that are considering that or that have done that, and yet they're feeling in our congregations, I've done that, but like, where are the troops? Like, I don't know what's exactly
I feel
happening.
like a lone ranger out here.
100%. So
What's Springs of Love doing in that? It's a lot.
Right. Well, when we first started fostering, you know, we were so blessed to foster a little boy that we very quickly got to adopt. And then soon after we found out about our twin girls and we brought them home and suddenly we had 3 babies who were 5 months apart. So we had triplets essentially. And they're so close. It was a joy, but you can imagine bringing in 3 babies who have had varying degrees of trauma. And so our girls were about 10 months old when they first came home to us. And it was hard. It was really hard, and I needed support. But I think people in the church don't exactly know how to help. They don't know. It feels sort of, you know, how do I, and I didn't even know how to ask for help.
Yeah.
And so we saw this we see this all the time with many foster families. So we're trying to start Springs of Love chapters in parishes around the country. And these chapters, they form a team to help support the foster families in their parishes.
Yeah.
So one person would be in charge of prayer. And so they would call the family once a week. How can we be praying for you this week? Another would be in charge of like assessing the needs, the immediate, like physical, tangible needs of the family.
Right.
When you get a call,
I need 3 car seats.
yes,
ASAP.
Yeah,
I need
exactly.
3 cribs.
That's
I need
exactly- that's
diapers.
what
I
I was
need
like.
wipes. Yeah.
exactly.
I need formula.
Because when you get the call to foster,
Right.
it's immediate. They'll
Right.
say, okay, we have 3 children right now
Right.
who you need to come pick up right now. And so suddenly, you know, you don't have the supplies generally. And so if you have a team that you could send out a text and say, we have 3 kids coming this afternoon, that this team would mobilize and say, okay, we're going to get you
Right.
what you need.
Right.
We're going to be dropping off formula, clothes, because a lot of times these children come to you with nothing but the clothes on their back.
Right.
So we
And the
need
wounds in
community.
their heart.
And the
And so
wounds.
then it's such a, you know, and you would think here in 2025 that we as the Catholic Church would be further along in this arena, in that, you know, you had to make this up. There wasn't an army waiting for you saying, Kimberly, we got you. And there were people. Now they're people of God and helping people and servants who want to do everything that they can. But no ministry intact, no chapter, no. So you had to invent that.
So if you are starting a chapter, Springs, what's it called? Springs of Love chapter?
Yes.
Okay. So then this is made known. It should be something that's in the bulletin or something, right?
Yeah,
It's there.
yes.
Because there's so many people that do want to help, but yet
Right.
they may have heard about this family that did this, but then it's like, who am I to say anything? Well, maybe they don't want help. I insult them.
Right.
But now you got a Springs of Love chapter that's explained to the parish.
Exactly.
And saying, you know, we're here for you. You're considering foster care, considering adoption. You've done it. You need help. We're going to become aware of this, and we want to mobilize and help you.
And there's so many families who are discerning this. And we've had families who've come forward now and said, well, if there's going to be a team to support me, we will foster.
Right.
And so I'm seeing that, which is so exciting to feel like there are families right now in our pews who would be willing to step into this hard space of
Yes.
fostering, but they just don't feel like they can handle it on their own. And so that's why we come alongside of them. We are accompanying these chapters
Yeah.
so they can accompany the families.
Right.
Because that's what is needed, to have somebody come alongside us and say, you know what, I'm going to be there for you.
Yes.
50% of foster families quit after the first year.
Because why?
It is so hard.
It's so hard.
It is so hard. You're bringing wounded children into your home. And you know, we brought babies in, and when our triplets were 4, we fostered again and brought in another little baby, who we ended up adopting. At that point, we were pretty much, you know,
Your
maxed
quiver
out
was
at
full.
that time.
Yeah.
Our quiver was full at the moment, because then we had started this ministry. We
Yeah.
started working in this space to raise up more Catholics, because we created the support that we needed. And we just felt like God was really calling us into this space to try to mobilize the church, to equip the church.
Yep.
And it takes faith to take that risk to say, I'm going to venture into these waters. Because one, when you have the cross of infertility, that's a cross in and of itself, right? And so then it's like, oh, I have enough of my own interior pain that I'm dealing with. But love does the opposite. So a lot of things motivate us. We either motivated by fear or we're motivated by love. And say, Lord, I'm going to take this risk and step into these waters for the sake of love. Now help me, Jesus, right?
But you're helping them, because each case seems to be like really unique. Like we were speaking about infertility earlier, and you have Springs in the desert that kind of deals with that. And for somebody that's experiencing that, to do foster care may be very, very difficult, and not what they. So you're saying, is this good for you or not? Here's the cases, here's the scenarios. At least they're talking to somebody.
Sure.
And to experiencing and articulating their fears to somebody else.
Yes.
right? Just to have an understanding, compassionate heart.
Yes, yes. So yes, for couples going through infertility, I do advise them to go to Springs in the Desert first, which is the first ministry that I was able to co-found with Ann Koshut, and to go there to get some healing, because it's important to look at the grief and to really process that grief.
Yes.
But as we move forward, we have a Be Not Afraid foster adoption discernment retreat that is on our website that is free, that couples can go through and just kind of hear stories of other families who have stepped into this space. But I want to create community around these families. So if you are somebody struggling with infertility and you're fostering, I want to find other people, because there are other people like you. We're creating those types of communities so that you aren't doing this on your own, and that you have somebody else who is in that same place with you that can walk with you.
We want to underline this multiple times to our audience right now, because you might be saying, I wish I had something like that, or you know what, I'm healthy, I'm doing well, and I'm not thinking about fostering or adopting. I want to be a part of this. I want to sow what I have into this. I want to support people doing this. What would they do if they want a chapter?
If
they want a chapter, they're saying,
yes.
I love what she's saying. This is so necessary. What do I do?
How do I activate this in my parish?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Well, go to our website, springsoflove.org, and you can go to the Get Involved tab and scroll down to I want to register my parish. And you can learn about starting a chapter. You can email me, and we just now have a new chapter manager who's helping us, a chapter development manager who's helping us to organize, because we have chapters in 8 different states now, which has been extraordinary just to see the growth of this.
When you were here last year, how many did you have in states? Did you have you grown since last year?
We had just started, so maybe 2.
So maybe we're going to get 8 more states. From this at least.
And then hopefully all 50.
I know, wouldn't that be beautiful?
No, in every diocese. I know, because otherwise, where people of love are taking their instruction from? The state. Yeah. Right? So the state is the driver of it all. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful apostolate. It's a beautiful vocation, but it's limited and lacking of the spiritual, which you need to be equipped spiritually to venture out into these waters and love, right?
Speak to us about the origin of the church and its foundation and relationship to orphans and to the vulnerable.
Right.
Because this has always been a part of the church, but it sounds like you're just kind of rekindling it and recasting that vision.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, from the very beginning, the Christians were the ones going and rescuing the children that were just left out to be to die of exposure.
The abandonment walls.
Absolutely.
Abandonment walls.
And so it was the Catholics. And so this is something we are trying to bring attention to, is this is the legacy of the Catholic Church, is to care for orphans and widows in their distress, and to care for vulnerable children and vulnerable families. And so we're tapping into that and trying to just sort of rekindle that. We've got on November 9th, we are celebrating Mother Cabrini Sunday. And this was inspired by a Protestant movement, the Christian Alliance for Orphans. They declare it Pure Religion Sunday, the second Sunday of November. They're organizing thousands of Protestant churches. Wow. It is, and lo and behold, it's the same week as Mother Cabrini's feast day, which I didn't even realize when I first was like, this needs to be called Mother Cabrini Sunday. So this is an opportunity for churches around the world to speak about the global orphan crisis, and for those in the United States to speak about our foster care crisis, because that is what it is. It's a foster care crisis. We have almost 400,000 children in foster care in the United States. And this is where the church needs to be. This is our legacy. Mother Cabrini started the first orphanages, some of the first orphanages in our country. And so this is just carrying on that work. It is now the Catholic families who need to be stepping up and opening up their homes to welcome these children.
We're going to take a break at this point and hold you over for the final segment, and just bring to us the best stuff that you've got.
Perfect.
Ministry of Springs of Love. Is it springsoflove.com?
Springsoflove.org.
.org, because I didn't have it right in front of me. Springsoflove.org. More information there. Pray that many chapters will be springing up. Those of you that might be saying, I'm pregnant, I don't quite know what to do here, and who can I place my child with? Or you might be thinking about abortion. There are people that want to help you through this. So plenty more to come. We'll be right back. Please don't go away. Wrapping up our conversation with Kimberly Henkel and springsoflove.org, right? .org, yes. And so, you know, something got triggered in you as we were speaking here about every diocese should have a chapter. And why? What is fostering, adoption? What does it mean? What should it mean for Christians, for Catholics?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very pro-life thing, you know.
Yeah.
Fostering and adoption should be integral to all of our pro-life efforts. And so, yeah, we're hoping that we can get this going in all of the dioceses. We have a place on our website to go resources and for dioceses to get some of the language to put just on their website, just to have something on their website about fostering and adopting. We have beautiful videos that they are welcome to put on their website as well, and they can direct people to us. But yeah, just starting this up because there are so many people that are interested in. And the Protestants are really, they're doing this. They have such a culture of fostering and adoption in their churches that we would like to see that in our Catholic churches, that it's a real culture of fostering, that it's not weird when you foster, that people don't look at you and like, wait, what's going on here? Who are these children? But that it's something normal, because this is what we should be doing. This is like the proper response as people of God.
Yeah. And you quoted some stats, like you said 30% of Christians are thinking about adoption.
Yes, 30% of Christians consider, they have thought about fostering or adopting.
But there's no input into that.
Right, so they think about it and they feel like, maybe I am called to this. But so many of them just kind of dismiss it. They don't really know what to do with that. And only 1% foster, only 1%, and I think it's 3% end up adopting. And so we want to bridge that gap. There's this huge gap. And so we want to create the space for people to be able to come and say, okay, you know what, here's a chapter. Here's a Springs of Love chapter. Let me find out a little bit more about this. And we've just created this beautiful formation series that
Building and belonging.
Building belonging, to help walk with people and give them a Catholic vision for what it is to foster and adopt.
And we'll be speaking a lot more about that tomorrow. So thank God you're with us to share about building and belonging. You're out there today. You're desirous. You're saying, I might want to do fostering or adoption and so on, but I have nobody speaking into my life. And so springsoflove.org is for you. You might be listening to us today and you're saying, I'm in a crisis pregnancy, you know, and maybe I could place my child. I don't know. Would somebody speak to me? Or I've already done that. And I just got a lot of questions about what I did, and there's kind of a vacancy in my life. I'm hurting. Springs of Love speaks to that as well. So many of these people are right there in our churches right now. And so we pray that you would reach out for that resource, springsoflove.org. We are a family of belonging, of care, of fostering, of adoption, of support. May this spread all over the country, not just 8 states or whatever it is, may be multiplied after the show to 16 to all 50 states. This is our heritage as Catholic people. God bless you and all of your loved ones. Whatever situation that you're in, you're never alone. And you're always at home with Jim and Joy. Bye now.